the the scenes right now in Ferguson, Missouri?
Listen, thanks for having me, Megan. There's no question that this situation is destabilized very, very quickly here in Ferguson. But the truth of the matter is that across this country, there's a lot of people that are very angry about this, that this grand jury did not come down with an indictment tonight. And that is what's caused this anger. No matter what side of you are, at the end of the day, there's mixed stories here. There's two sides of the story that really shouldn't be heard up by a jury, but we can't speak to that. What we can speak to...
They were. Both sides were heard.
Well, I'm talking about, there should have been an official jury trial. There's clearly, there's different evidence, different stories, and it could have went to a real jury and have a real full-fledged trial on this. But that's neither here nor there tonight, Megan. I think tonight the mood here is heavy. And while there was effort for peaceful protesting, clearly the anger has gotten out of control.
Richard, but the reason that the anger has gotten out of control, many would posit to you, is because these fires, so to speak, have been stoked by people who refuse to trust in the system, the grand jury system, which is the way our country works. And that grand jury met for 3 months, 1 time a week, 12 people in good faith, and they looked at all the evidence. 60 witnesses they listened to, and they disagreed with you. They know more than you do, and they said there's no probable cause for any of these charges. Who are you to second-guess them?
Listen, Megan, I have to respect the rule of law here, but I got to tell you, it took 110 days for them to even come down with any type of decision. If this homicide were to happen in New York City, this would went automatically to a real jury, a real trial. Clearly, this prosecutor made some huge blunders, and that's why the people tonight are angry, Megan.
No, you know what the lawyers say?
Well, that's why people are angry.
The people...
That's why the people are angry.
And perhaps it's because the people are being misinformed, Richard, because what the truth is, and Arthur Idala was just saying this to me, the truth is, if nine cases out of 10, the cop, there wouldn't have been even a grand jury proceeding. Where it's an officer-involved shooting, 9 times out of 10, the cop would not have been put through this, because 9 times out of 10, they believe the law enforcement officers and their testimonials. But in this case, it went to another level. They got another level of review.
I hear that, but the reason why I got to that point is because of the same frustration that happened on the ground. People demanded that there be a grand jury hearing here. At the end of the day, as you know, as I do as an attorney, that a prosecutor can prosecute, can get charges for a ham sandwich. That's what the state goes to the grand jury.
Tonight, that prosecutor...
Well, I think that case can be proved beyond a reasonable doubt, Megan. I understand we disagree on this, but at the end of the day, there was a black man he was unarmed, and he was shot and killed in the streets of Ferguson. And that is why people tonight are angry all across this country. It's not just me. It's millions of people across this country.
But, Richard, you are ignoring the fact that what the prosecutor told us tonight was that there was testimony that, that man who wound up shot dead attacked a police officer. After he had just committed a robbery, he attacked a police officer sitting in his car and punched his face. And then, listen, let me finish, I'll give you the floor. Then ran, then turned around, and then charged the officer. And that prosecutor said that several African-American witnesses came forward to say they saw the African-American 18-year-old coming toward the police officer while the police officer had his gun drawn. I'm sorry, Richard, but that was the testimony.
That Michael Brown had his hands up in the sign of universal surrender. Beyond that point, Megan, if you look at the evidence, you look very clearly at it. This prosecutor didn't even give the grand jury clear charges that they were going to charge him for. At the end of the day, this prosecutor, who was so connected to the police department to begin with, he could not provide an independent view. At the beginning of this trial, he said he wasn't going to go to a grand jury to begin with. It was the people that forced him there, and now that we come out with that indictment, it should not be a surprise to anybody.
It would have.